welcome everyone. Come back to the day 2 Brain Fog Masterclass. So how's everyone? How's in Facebook? How's in Zoom? And what's up, Latany? And what's up, OD? So yesterday, how many people are here yesterday? Type a me down below so that I know where to start. Me, okay. Yep, Santana, I remember you. And let's check. Okay, Latany, welcome back. So yesterday, we go through what is actually brain fog, and brain fog is a type of early cognitive decline, and then those decline, if you leave it unmanaged, untreated, it will progress to be something worse if you don't take action soon enough. And let's review really quick about the material we go through yesterday. So brain fog, do you remember what is the percentage of people with getting brain fog? Brain fog is really common in people that is at their mid 40. Almost 10% of them having brain fog. But then suddenly after 60, 40% of them have brain fog. So that we know it's a kind of an aging problem. So this is kind of fine for people if you are older than 60. That being said, if you're still in your 30, 40, and you're having brain fog, you're having cognitive decline, that's something not ideal because your body are aging quicker than you think. So brain fog, if you're having brain fog right now, that's an early brain aging, and it's a cognitive decline. And what will be the symptoms that regarding brain fog yesterday we mentioned? Anyone can think about that? Like if you are here yesterday, bring out the paper we do yesterday. How many symptoms you actually have? Or how many people type me in the chat if you have trouble finding word, your short-term memory getting worse and worse, and then seems like your multitasking skill has been really poor. Or some people have a clumsiness. They have poor coordination, their dexterity has been decreased. They have sensory overload when people talking really loud near them or someone drops something near them, they would like kind of freak out. How many of you have ever experienced such things like this? Just type number 1 down in the chat if you ever experienced that. And as you can see, it is quite common this day, but common didn't mean normal because we're experiencing a brain fog crisis. No one's know is coming. Everyone these days is talking about, hey, brain rot. Brain rot. Your brain is rotting. Rotting means it's decaying. This is something real is happening probably around some of us in the Zoom room today. So for today's agenda, we're going to do some assessment together to find out where is your brain fog coming from. Is it really the case your brain stopped kind of working? Can anyone tell me what can cause brain fog? Like what actually happening in your brain if you have brain fog? Can anyone type it in the chat, let me know, or just voice out? What happened between the brain cell when we actually have brain fog? Can anyone tell me about that? There's something about the connection about the brain. Can anyone remember? So what happened in the brain fog? Like your brain is like a computer. There's a lot of brain cell. They have to communicate each other. They have to do a lot of calculating. They have to do processing to allow your brain function as 100%. But in people that have brain fog, ADHD, they're the same things, but just causing by different brain area being disconnected. Inside your brain, it is made up of those billions of brain cells. Those are the basic units of your brain. And they're connected just like a cable, they have a connection. Just like your phone charging, it has to plug in firmly to allow the charging to go, has a 100% efficiency. But if those connection is getting weaker, maybe your USB cable getting looser, the cable is getting older, and you're not changing it and you're not taking good maintenance, what would happen to your phone that is being charged? What do you think will happen to the charging? Do you feel like the charging speed is going to be the same or is getting slower? Let me know in the chat. Do you think it's faster or slower? It's definitely getting slower because the connection, they're literally not transmitting the enough signal and the electric to keep those things running. So the brain is exactly the same. The brain are made of billions of this neural pathway. So if the connection, maybe few of them are disconnected, that's fine. But as more those connection getting disconnected, symptoms comes up. And there is a stage when this brain fog happen. First, it only start as a general brain disconnection. You don't really feel anything, there's no symptoms at all. But when a connection more and more get disconnected, just like your Wi-Fi, if the speed drop a little bit, probably it's unnoticeable. You can still watch YouTube in 4K. But if the speed drop more than 70%, 50%, you will start feeling though lagging. Maybe that button, hey, when I click it, it takes forever to load. Or maybe when you click the 4K, it keep lagging, take few seconds, you're lagging. It's just like your human body. How many of you can relate to this? You used to be sharp, but then everything just feels slow. You're not as sharp as you used to be. And then when you're trying to do the same task, probably you can finish within 10 minutes, maybe when you are younger or before you have brain fog. But right now, seems everything taking longer or even you have a lot of procrastination. So this is where the disconnection just started. And then when the disconnection get more and more, it becomes dysregulation. Different part of the brain, they get dysregulated. So this is what we call the nervous system dysregulation inside the brain. So people start having, hey, air hunger, anxiety coming from nowhere, like they feel stressed, they can't sleep, just really mild symptoms. But when this getting involved way more, it becomes dysfunction. So dysfunction is a more severe form. And yesterday we go through different part of the brain. Hey, which part of the brain is doing which function, so that we know if this whole part of the brain are not functioning, you have certain symptoms. For example, the frontal lobe usually give people personality change, their emotional control, their executive function. Hey, they keep procrastinating, or even, let's say for the brainstem, people often have air hunger, anxiety coming from nowhere, maybe eye straining, like the supermarket symptoms, like they will feel dizzy when they just by walking or people walking nearby them. This is a severe form of brain disconnection and become dysfunction, actual dysfunction, and people, the life, I'm not sure if you have it. If you have it, you will know that's pretty devastating, and some people have to be bedridden and then they lost all the joy in their life because they just can't do anything. And what happened after that is degeneration. Degeneration, like the brain literally like shrinked it. And don't worry, if you're still here today, probably you're not that bad, but this can take 10 to 20 years to develop. And this is a story I told you guys yesterday. The client, James, he is a probably million or billionaire, working in a high position in a really famous bank. But it doesn't matter if you are really rich or really poor. Health is a universal thing. If you don't take care of it, it will all happen the same to us. The question is it faster? Is it slower? The only question you should be asking yourself is, how long can I keep my brain fog stay healthy as long as possible? Maybe reverse it. Or right now, if I already having cognitive decline, really the symptoms, more and more symptoms comes up every once a while. What should I do to actually stop this and heal myself rather than it progress to somewhere there's nothing you can do? And there's of brain, there's two main type that causing brain fog. Is anyone remember which two type? There's something higher, something lower, something left and right. Anyone remember that? Can someone let me know in the chat so that I know you guys are tracking yesterday? So there's main two types of brain dysregulation, or you can say causing brain fog. There's a higher brain versus lower part of the brain dysregulation. So just like this. So higher brain, lower brain dysregulation means the higher part of the brain's not working or the lower part of the brain is not working, causing the total brain are not working 100%, just like your computer. The whole computer has to work together in order to work as 100%. So if part of the brain don't works, probably the whole brain don't works. And then the second types is the left brain and the right brain disconnection and dysregulation. One side of your brain, so you have two brain, left brain and right brain. But then one side of the brain, they start losing its function because of we are not using our brain enough after we leave the high school, leave the college. And then we repeat the same task day over day and we neglect other part of the brain. So that's why people work as a office job. Maybe they do a lot of sitting. They often have a poor balance because they didn't use the brain to train the balance. So when you stop using it, it's just like your muscle. If you don't use it, it's really simple. You lose it to save energy. Higher brain and lower brain dysfunction is worse than left and right brain imbalance. Can anyone tell me why? I want you to imagine left brain, right brain imbalance is just like if you imagine your brain is a car. It has, two wheels, right? One is going left and one is going right. If one wheels get broken, probably the car still kind of keep going. But then if you fix just one wheel, it would go straight again. But if your higher brain and lower brain imbalance, both sides of the brain has to be dysregulated first. So it takes more long time. It takes more time for higher and lower brain dysfunction to occur. So when it happens, usually that means it's not it's a long time, and then the brain really stop working. In order to fix that, it takes more time, more effort, and some people, if they are really long, maybe they are in their 60, 70, probably they can just keep it right there and drive the car like that for the whole life. So today we're going to do some testing to tell you, hey, which type of you are having right now. To give you some, to let you know, hey, should you really taking action right now, or should you wait to kind of see is that improve? And anyone still remember the numbers I tell you yesterday? Because a lot of people just want to wait to see if their symptoms would improve. How many of you ever just thinking, I should just wait and see what happens? How many of you ever think about that? So the study I showed you yesterday, they found out that people that have cognitive decline, brain fog, and different type of nervous system disorder, if they don't do any specialized care, their chance of getting better is only 4%. And 70% of them, the symptoms getting worse after 5 years. And the reasons is really simple. Because I just tell you, hey, there's left brain, right brain, higher brain, lower brain. So you have to do specific therapeutic approach to exercise your brain again to change it. Most people do generic things. They only get genetic result. Like they do exercise, they meditate, they drink more water, they take nutrition. But not until you correct those disconnection, those imbalance, those dysregulation, nothing really change. So that's why people, only 4% get better. That's just random miracle. And 70% of them getting worse, that's pretty much guarantee. Nothing will change if you don't use the approach I'm going to show you today and tomorrow. Anyone tracking so far? Type tracking down below if you're following. And let's see if anyone have any question right now. Okay, awesome. And then the next things we're going to explore is how we actually test the brain. Because the things that people think about, hey, when we need to test the brain, we have to do something like a brain scan, like a brain MRI, or do some kind of blood drawing. Is that really so? And the question is really simple, is really no. If you have been to a neurologist, or if you've been to any kind of healthcare program, there's a lot of things called the physical exam or the clinical exam. A lot of exam can already tell you and localize where is the problem. And the brain scan, different tests are only to show, hey, is there the brain broken? Is there any tumor? Is there anything bleeding? So those tests are really beautiful structure. It's a really beautiful photo of showing how your brain looks like on a scan. It didn't really tell you how it is working right now. It's just imagine, hey, if your phone is stop working or my screen just freezed, what would be the chance if you can find a problem? If you just crack open this case and then take a picture of the hardware, how likely do you think you will have a problem? Probably not. It's pretty low. Unless, hey, maybe your screen crack that has an obvious sign, then you will find a problem. But in fact, most brain fog, those are functional issue. They start from the disconnection and then affect the function. So that, in short, to test the brain, we need some functional test to test how well your brain can do certain tasks. Just like your phone. To test how fast your phone can run, what will you do? Anyone can suggest anything? Probably what people most like, the tech guy would do is open a bunch of program, want a really specific program to see, hey, how fast it can run, without lagging, how many tasks they can do at the same time, they can still run smooth. Because, for example, like, I have iPhone 17, it should be able to run 10 different apps at the same time. But if I can only run 5 and then the whole phone freeze, the performance is not normal. Probably the performance is equivalent for maybe iPhone 10. Then this tell us something. The performance or maybe the hardware has some issue. And disclaimer, for all the tests we're going to do, didn't tell you if you have a structural problem. So I want you to get up a piece of paper right now. But please aware, the test we're going to do is all functional. It didn't tell you, hey, you have a certain type of disease. It didn't tell you, hey, your brain is broken. There's no like that. We're testing how well the brain is working right now. It didn't mean you have a medical emergency. But if you're really concerned, make sure you go to see a doctor and also a functional neurologist as well. Anyone agree with that? Type agree so that we can all begin. The framework, I use that for almost like 6 years, that I help hundreds of people, and I lost track of it in both my clinic and online. I use this brain clarity framework, and it's super simple to understand, but it has a lot of detail to actually make it work. So the first step, all start in assessment, because assessment is key. If you don't know where's the root cause, where is causing the problem, you're just randomly doing something, you're not going to change anything. And then the second part is you have to activate the brain connection. Do you still remember it all start with the brain cell, the signal being disconnected more and more, so that we have to activate those brain cell, the brain area, that they are not active, so that when we are actively more and more, it will connect it again. And then the third part is we accelerate those healing by using different type of tool. Maybe we can use different stimulation to make the connection stronger. We can use something like a vibration machine that have a specific frequency, or we can use a photobiomodulation therapy, like a red light therapy. But this is a little bit more advanced. We're going to focus on part 1 and part 2 for today and tomorrow. Let's talk about the assessment. So, in a moment, we're going to together do some movement things, because by how it's really fascinating, by how you move actually tell us how well your brain is doing. And if you don't believe, imagine just like this. You're seeing a stroke. This is a illustration of people having stroke. So when you're on the street walking, hey, you see that person, hey, walking really weird. They have to hold a stick. They cannot balance. You know something's going on inside their brain. And then neurologists are able to tell, hey, if their right side of the body is not working, probably somewhere along to the other side of the brain are not working. In his case, it's a stroke, so something must be damaged. But what we're going to do is functional. We're looking at those minor detail to tell us, is there something's going on? Is this something the performance stopping you and causing your brain fog? And here is a checklist we're going to use in my framework. There's more than 20 of tests, but of course, we have a time limit. So we're going to do around 3 to 4 today. Depends on the time and how everyone is following today. So before we do, grab a piece of paper and I want you to draw a brain like this. Just really simple. Get a piece of paper and draw a brain on the paper. And let me know when you're finished. For me, I will probably just draw a circle like this, and then like this, and I will draw like a brain stem here. The reasons why we're going to draw a brain is the test we're going to do is going to tell you, hey, which part of the brain might be affected. So that after that, we're going to calculate the score to know, hey, is it more left brain, right brain imbalance? Or maybe it's a higher and lower brain. So we have to calculate the score. After you finish the drawing, type finished in a comment so that we know. Okay, finished it. Okay. Everyone are having... Oh, by the way, if you are in the Zoom room right now, I see there's a lot of people in Zoom room. You can click, if you are like, have some time, you know, you're not driving or anything. Welcome to join the Zoom room because I suggest and I encourage everyone turn on your camera so that I can see how you do, so that we can maybe give you some feedback. And if you're not sure, you can take a look. So the first test is super simple. If you come here yesterday, this is called the finger tapping test. The test is super simple. People think there's a joke. There's a joke. How come you can tell by moving your finger and tell you hey, your brain has a problem? The reasons why is to move your finger is one of the highest, most complex tasks you can ask your brain to do. Because you have to know, hey, where's your finger? Where's my palm? I have to raise my hand. I have to coordinate. And then the speed, I have to hold at a certain speed. So that's quite complex. So that's why a doctor use it to screen Parkinson as one of the hallmark to screening out Parkinson. And let me, before we start, I'm going to show you this video here. Let's see if that play. Okay, so this is the finger tapping. So you can see this lady is tapping, so she can even move her finger. When she's really try hard to move the finger, you can tell there's some skipping, hesitation, like shaking in those hands. So that's not ideal. But anyway, let's do it together. So everyone raise your left hand like this, and then other fingers has to be closed. Open your finger as big as you can, and then I'm gonna close, open, close, and open, and do it as quick as you can. So most people would do this. This is cheating. So open as big and do it as quick as you can. Do it around 10 seconds. Okay, and then when you stop, repeat the same things on the other side. Okay, I do see some of us having a little bit challenge of just moving their finger. So the only things I want you to notice is when you open and close, do you feel harder to move one side on the other? Do you feel that's lagging? Do you feel like, oh, my wrist just kind of not able to control it? Or some people, they will do this. When they do this, they will move their face, or they will move their mouth. But you can feel it, but you can see it from the outside. For the side that you feel harder and slower, I want you to grab the paper that we just draw. On the same side, I want you to put a tick on the diagram. So for example, you forgive my drawing here. That's really okay. Let's say your right hand, the tapping is slower. I want you to add one tick on the same side of the drawing. So just put it on the hand. So right side is slower. You want to add one more tick. If both sides feel hard, you're going to take both sides. But if the side is get harder, you're going to add another tick. So for example, both sides is hard. I'm going to take both of my hand, but my right hand is even harder. I'm going to take more tick here. Is anyone tracking so far? Is my PowerPoint not showing up right now? Oh, it's coming up. Okay. Yep. So you're going to take two ticks. And I know what you're thinking. Most people ask me every time, hey, is it because I am right-handed, so my left hand is definitely getting slower? That's common sense, right? But the research show opposite. It doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed. Both sides of your hand are able to move the same. And some people, that's really interesting, is their dominant hand would even get slower. Just like, hey, I use my right hand every day, but my right hand is even slower and harder than the other side. Let me know in the chat if this is something like you. Your dominant hand is harder and slower than the opposite side. How many of you are like that? Just type finger or me in the chat below. Or how many of you are both sides hard? So if your dominant hand is even slower, that's really, really strange, right? You're using the hand every single day, but it's still slower. That means, hey, maybe something is quite a long time that might be causing the issues right now. So this is just the first test. And just so you're aware, one test positive didn't mean anything. But if we do 4 tests, 5 tests, 20 tests, and there's a lot of positive, that means something is going on. We are only collecting data here to suggest how likely your brain, the connection, the function is decreasing. So don't panic if you having, hey, oh, my wrist can hurt. That's still fine for now. So the next test we're going to do is called the rapid alternate movement. So this test is going to test the small brain. Anyone remember what is the small brain from yesterday? Because this is really crucial. The small brain, the cerebellum, is really tiny here, but it contains more than 70% of the total brain cell. So this small area is even more important than the whole brain, as it coordinates all the part in your brain. So if this small brain don't work, other brain don't work that well. And people that have a small brain or like a cerebellum dysfunction, often they will have more obvious is they will become more clumsy. And that's pretty common in ADHD. That's why they will have like walking, they easily trip themselves. When they walk, they will lean to one side. They can't focus. Their eye feel straining. Some of them, they feel floating a little bit when they walk. Some people having sleeping issue, or just in general brain fog, because the cerebellum also coordinate how much blood it get into your brain. So if less blood, less brain function, you have brain fog. It's that straightforward. So how do we do this test? Let me show you one video.
Can you just tap?
Okay, not this one.
Can you just tap on?
Okay, this is... Okay, so for the first one, we're going to do is put both hands up like this for me. Put it like this, hands straight forward, and then going to go palms up, palms down, palms up, palms down, and then going to do it as quick as you can. Yep, make sure you keep your arms straight. Yep. Okay. The only things I want you to notice is both sides feel the same speed. And then the second thing is one side, they will do this often. One side can hold in the same location, but then the other hand will tend to drift a little bit. They will do this, and then one hand, they will kind of slow down, or they cannot stay in the same spot. Okay, let's do it one more time. So, and then once you do it, you can stop. So let me show you again. So hands up, goes palms up, palms down, and do as quick as you can. Okay, and you can stop. And then this is the first one. The second one is you're going to tuck your elbow. So you're going to tuck your elbow and then do the same things here. Most of the time, this become more obvious. How many of you, when you tuck the elbow, it's become way slower, or one side become way discoordinated? The right side feel tuck a little bit, okay? And then the last things we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. Either hand is fine because we're gonna do both sides. So I'm gonna do this. And I want you to notice, is there any second you would like hesitate? Make sure you go palms up, palms down all the way. So you don't want to do this, but you want to actually flip it. Yep. And notice if yourself can stay in the same spot. Some people, they would do this. And then repeat the same things on the other side. And then let me know if you feel one side feel a little bit weird. Maybe it's just the feelings. Maybe you actually feel there's a split of second you hesitate. Or you cannot stay in the same spot. And let me show you what a positive could look like. Is my PowerPoint showing up on this? Okay, it's coming up. Okay, so for this one, it's a little bit exaggerated. You can tell when he flipped, there will be a lot of shaking, and then like cannot do it at all. Anyone would see that. This one is more obvious because she literally have a brain tumor that prevent her to do that. But some people may think, for anyone that think that, oh, it's really mild and tiny, sometimes it's a warning sign. You don't want to wait until you cannot even do it to take action. because when you cannot do it, then that's gone. That's bad. And sometimes those small things can manifest in something bigger in the long run. So if you have it, maybe it's a warning sign, maybe there's nothing. But let's do few more tests to actually test out, hey, is it really the case? And then let's go back to the chart here. If you for this turning up and down, if you feel like for your right side is lower, I want you to add one tick on the cerebellum on that side. So for example, my right hand is a little bit weird when I do that. I'm going to put one tick on the right side. If I'm doing this, I'm going to take one tick. When I tuck the elbow and I feel weird as well, I put another tick on the same side as well. If both sides feel harder, you take both tick on both sides. So for example, when I do this, both of my right hand is feeling slower, and when I tuck my elbow, I also feel slower. I will put two tick on the right side. Anyone tracking so far? And if you have any questions, please let me know. Most people seems the left hand feel a little bit slower, harder. Okay, let's make some clarification. So for the finger tapping, for the test like we just did before, I told you guys to add one tick on the same side of the hand, right? So after you put one tick here, I want you to do something for me right now. For this tick, I want you to put this tick on the opposite side of the cortex here. Just put it here. If you don't understand, that's still okay. It still works the same. But if you put it on the hand, I want you to put it on the left cortex, the higher brain here. Because if the right finger don't work, that means the higher cortex on the opposite side is not working. If you don't following, that's okay. I'm going to going over again at the end to calculate the score together with you all. And then let's go to the next test. The next test we call the warm bird test. Basically, it's a balance test. It's a fancy name. The doctors give it to them. It's just a balance test. And then here is how we do it. We're going to stand like this, but hands putting down, not like on the side. This one is wrong. So put the hands down, and then the feet has to be all together like this. So stand up, feet together, pointing straight forward, and then hand on the side. And then we're going to look straight forward and don't look at the screen. Just look straight forward, and then you're going to close your eye. And make sure you are not wearing any shoes and socks. And what you have to notice is, do you feel like you are swaying on one side, or you cannot balance it? Most of the time, people don't have issue. But let's check it together. So I'm going to do it together with you guys. So stand up, and then hands on the side, and then just look straight forward and close your eye. If you feel like you're going to fall, make sure you just open your eye and don't hurt yourself. Okay, I don't see anyone's falling here, so then that's good. And then we're going to do something more challenging. It's not end yet. We're going to stand up again, but this time for the feet, we are not putting like this. We are putting one feet in front of the other feet. It's just like a DUI test. So 1 feet in front of the other feet. And then hands on the side, and then close your eye. And then I want you to notice which side do you lean to, do you sway to at the first split of a second. So I see some people lean to the right side, some people to the left. Make sure you write it down. And then after you do that, we're going to switch the leg another way around. So if your left feet in front of your right feet, this time you'll be right feet in front of your left feet. Just switch the leg. And do it again and see. Close your eye and tell me if you're still falling to the same side. If you also tend to fall to the same side, that's tell us there's a brain imbalance there, because the small brain, the cerebellum, is where it controls our balance. And let's go back to the chart here. If you are falling to the right side in any variation, so we do feet together, we do each feet on the side. So if you fall to the right side in any one of them, just put 1 tick on that side. So let's say if I fall to the right side, I will put tick on the right side. If I fall if 3 of them also fall to the right side, I'm going to put 3 tick on it. But if I one time fall to the right, one time fall to the left, I'm going to put 1 tick on each side. Let me know when you are tracking. Type checking in the comment down below. Okay. Anyone actually can balance themselves when they do the test? In a moment, we're going to do something a little bit more exciting. We're going to test how well the balance is a little bit more. So this test is called the Foucault step. In a moment, we're going to need some space, as you need to march in place, so that if you are having a lot of things around you, maybe you have to clean it up a little bit. And how we do it is like this. In a moment, you're going to close your eye, feet together first, and you're going to march up and down almost to 90 degrees. So you cannot march like him. You have to march a little bit higher. You have to march 50 steps. If you would turn like this guy, maybe turn a little bit like 45 degrees, or just turn a little bit, that means your brain do not know where your body is. There's some imbalance there. So when you close the eye, it can only run in what it thinks is true. So that when you close the eye, there's no any other things to help it. So let's do it together at the same time. Let's wait for me. Okay, let's do it together at the same time so I can see every one of you. So make sure everyone clear their space when you march, because when you close your eye, you see those guys, you see that guy, he didn't know where he's going, so you might hit yourself. So make sure you get into a larger space so that you don't maybe trip or something. Okay. Here's the deal. Feet together, close the eye, And then you're going to march in place 50 step. And then let's start together. Yep. Okay. Awesome. 50 step. Okay, hand has to hold up together as well. So it's like marching, hands and feet all together. Yep, 50 step. Twenty step more. Or if you're counting, just believe yourself. Okay. And after you're done, you can stop. And how many of you feel just maybe get dizzy? Or they feel their body turn a little bit? Or some people, they will go to the back, they will go to the front, they will go to the side. How many of you? Let me know. What's that look like in the chat? How many of you here feel dizzy after you do the marching? For guys who feel dizzy after the marching, that means that I want you to ask maybe yourself, if you feel dizzy, do you also having, usually people will have a little bit anxiety, they will have heart rate regulation issue, maybe their heart rate kind of spiking, easily get spiked, maybe they get tightness in the chest, maybe digestion issue. The reasons why some people feel dizzy after this is when we are looking and walking normally, we're using our eye and our small brain, the ear, to walk, to keep yourself balanced. But as long as you close your eye, your brain only have the information coming from your ear and the small brain. So that's why even though you can still walk, you can still balance, but those put more stress on your ear and your cerebellum, which is all connected. So that is challenging more to work your small brain. So I would say if you're not like, oh, super dizzy, oh, I have to like think, that's good. If you feel slight dizzy, a little bit, feel like workout, that's a good sign because this actually force it to work harder so that it can get better. It's just like workout. Oh, workout is, it takes some effort. So don't worry if you get a little bit dizzy, which is a good sign to tell you there's a lot of things you can improve. But if you feel, oh, I feel fainting, there's a lot of like other symptoms, I would be paying attention. That's something you have to take action for that. And in the final test we're going to do is eye tracking test. Have anyone here watched medical, like, like TV drama? When you go to the hospital, the doctor will say, hey, look at my pen here, and then follow my pen to see if they are fine, right? Anyone watch something like this before? Follow my pen on the TV show. Okay. By telling how your eye move can tell us a lot of things, because look at the brain behind me. Different brain area control different eye movement. For example, when I'm looking to the left, I'm using my left brain. When I'm looking to the right side, I'm using the right brain. There's a lot of combination, but today we're going to do the most simple one. see me do it first, don't do it because there's some detail and I want to check how you do. So see me do it first. In a moment, you're going to put your thumb, or you can get a pen or like a sticker or anything you can look at. You're going to put it in between your eye and at your eye level. Put it here and then in your eye level like this. As I put it out, I'm going to look at my thumb moving left to right while my eye is looking at the thumb. So it will look like this. So if you see my eye, I would look at my thumb. Only my eye is moving. But some people, because they cannot move their eye, they will do something like this. When they move, their hand will move together. They cannot control their head. They will move their head just tiny a little bit. When they go other side, they will move and then their head start moving. So let's do it together. The only things I want you to notice is two things. One, can your eye look at the thumb the whole time? Or is there any split of second it lost focus? Or second, do you feel your head turned? It's tiny a little bit. We're looking for yes or no. A little bit, that's a yes. If you turn a lot, that's not ideal. Okay, let's do it all together. Put your fingers in between your eye first and at the eye level. Okay? And then move really slowly left to right. I see someone has moved tiny a little bit. And then let's see. Okay. So anyone feel like the head kind of, I don't know why. I just feel like, oh, my head just want to automatically like follow my finger. How many of you have like that? Type me in the chat. What do you feel when you do this? Is it your head move, or you lose focus, or you feel your eye blinking a lot? Let me know in the chat. Some people would like Eva, lose focus when I go to the left. Some people said going to the right side. Imagine if you're just looking, this is called tracking. This is called tracking. When something something move in front of you, your eye will automatically want to look at it and follow it. And it happened probably 50,000 times per day. If you cannot focus all the way, that means your brain, the efficiency is going down. Imagine you're looking on the computer, like doing your paperwork, and you have to like look at the scrolling, look at this word, and then jump to the other word. If your eyes keep blinking, or if your head need to keep turning to look at something you don't need to do as much of movement, it will cause a lot of fatigue in the brain. So when this fatigue come, what do we feel? Like we get tired, we'll have the foggy feelings. Or some people, they will blink a lot, they will have the dry eye, they will have the watery eye. So this is something could cause and add a workload to your brain and causing your brain fog as well. So we do 50,000 times per day, but every time, imagine if you turn your head, there's a lot of work. Like you turn 50,000 times every time you look. Do you think like there's a lot of work, and when you turn your head as much, some people feel dizzy because dizzy every time they turn their head, they feel dizzy. If you're having dizzy, probably 70% of the time is related between your eye, how it able to move, and also how well your ear, your cerebellum are able to coordinate. If they cannot move at the same time together, just like, hey, I'm looking, but then I don't know why my neck walk together, that's something telling us it's dysynchronized, it's disconnected, dysregulated. And I know that's really tiny, maybe for you guys, but really tiny things add up. When you do it 50, 40,000 times per day, that's really add up. So that's why some people, the symptoms seems okay when they wake up, but the symptoms getting worse and worse, getting a little bit uncomfortable by the end of the day. How many of you can relate to that? When I wake up, that's fine, but 4, 5 p.m. when I go back home, oh, the symptoms start kicking in. The fatigue, the brain fog, the dizziness seems getting worse, especially regulation. Just like your wallet, just like your bank account. You only have a certain amount of money every month. Let's say you made 5K a month. 5K a month all sounds a lot, right? A lot of money, 5K. For 5K money, that's only a lot if they spend maybe 1,000 per month, so that they have a lot of extra money to take back home, buy whatever they want. However, if you earn 5K, but every day you're using 1K, you use the money a lot in somewhere you shouldn't be, probably 5K is still not enough. So this is what happened in people that have brain fog, ADHD. Their brain get disconnected, dysregulated, so that they use a lot of energy in somewhere they don't need to. And that's where the fatigue, and then when you sleep, you come back up, you feel reborn again. But this only getting worse, or it didn't last that long. Let's go back to the scoring sheet here. Okay, Letney said, oh, my ADHD and eye straining are connected. Yes, absolutely. Because the eye movement is from the frontal lobe as well. And your question remind me one really interesting client. So this client, let's just call him Keith. He's only 10 years old. Is it 10 years old? No. I think it's like 12 or 13, but he played baseball bat. But then one day he get hit by a ball, and then his mom bring him to me. And then we thought, oh, did he bring him to us for concussion for hitting his head? But then his mom said, oh, no, 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 it's not about the head. His head looks fine. Like we do CT, nothing's wrong. So that, and I asked, oh, what's the issue then? His mom tell us, since he get hit by a ball, he becomes so mean and personality and becomes so ADHD. He used to be not like that, but once he get hit by the ball, he become really mean. The personality just change. And then when we do the eye movement test, of course, just not eyeballing it. We have some instrument to actually measure how quick the eyes move. Is it lagging or jumping? And then we find out his eye would do a lot of weird things. For example, when they move, their head will move. Or when I ask them to jump, they would not jump. They would jump few times before it look at something. And that's tell us his frontal lobe is dysregulated and disconnected. And what do our frontal lobe do? The executive function. Hey, are you able to focus? Your personality. So that's why we know that, hey, his personality change, his ADHD is from the frontal lobe. And what more interesting is after that, because we know the eye are connected to the frontal lobe. So when we use a therapeutic eye exercise to just improve how his eye move, his personality getting normal again, and he become not ADHD again. Because when we work the eye, we are regulating his frontal lobe so that his symptoms, his ADHD and personality change is reversed. So this is a story how the eye, the frontal lobe, and ADHD is related. If you, I'm gonna give you a interesting challenge for you guys. If you are having a ADHD friend or like brain fog friend, I want you to do this test to them. You're going to just have them look at your thumb and you're going to move left to right. I guarantee you, most of the time, you will see their eye are lagging, or after you do 3 to 4 passes, their eye will start jerking. They will do this, or they will suddenly lose focus. They will do this, and they will do a lot of weird things. So do this and let me know tomorrow, if you find any things in your friend as well. And let's check the comment. Anyone have questions so far? Claudia said neck and back head get tired by the end of the day. Yeah, maybe is a physical exercise problem. Some people just don't work out, or some people when they work out they will still feel tired because eye, neck, body has to work together. If your eye, neck doing something not synchronized, you use a lot of energy and then it get tired. Natalie said, or is it help with divergent insufficiency? There is a way to help, but this tracking, no. And how do we fix it? And we're gonna go over soon, today and tomorrow. So let's go back to the score sheet right now to calculate the score, because that's tell us what you need to do. For the turning test, for the stepping test, if you feel like you're turning to one side, you're going to put a tick on the side you're turning or leaning towards. So for example, if I'm feeling turning to my right side or leaning to the right side, I'm going to put one tick there. If you don't feel anything at all, but if you feel dizzy, put one tick on both sides. And let me know when you're finished. Yes, that's the march test. The march test is called Fukuta step. You're standing in the same place and marching up and down. Okay, let's go to the next score. Next score, what do we do? Oh, the pursuit, the eye tracking test. If you feel like your head, when you move, if you feel your eye straining to the same side, for example, if you feel your eye when you move your finger to the left side and your eye doing anything weird, including blinking, cannot focus, or your head just turning to the same side, I would need you to put one tick on the cortex here because that check our higher brain. So for example, when my eye doing anything weird, going to the left, I'm going to put one tick on the left cortex. If you're having both sides, simple, you put both tick on both sides. If both sides, but one side seems a little bit even more challenging, you're going to put another tick there. And let me know if you need any clarification. and let me know when you're finished. And then the next step is the framework, the second part of the framework. So we know the assessment. Oh wait, I think we should explain how do this score actually means. So after you calculate the score, you should be seeing a pattern of, so first, I want you to circle which side of the cerebellum has the most tick. Let's calculate the score here together. First step, calculate the cerebellum has the highest tick, highest number of tick. For example, you can tell, hey, my right cerebellum has the most amount of tick. Or maybe you have left and right together, but I want you to circle the most amount of it. And then the second step, you're going to circle the most amount of tick on the cortex. For example, this one, I have 2 tick on the cortex. I'm going to circle the left one. And then the next one, I need you to calculate how many tick is in each side, each part of the brain. So for example, cerebellum, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put 5 here. So 5 here. And then the left cerebellum, I have 2 tick here. I'm going to put number 2. And the cortex, I have 2 on the left, like here. And then for the right cortex, I have 1, so I'm going to put 1 here. And then let me know when you're finished. So after you finish, usually there will be having 2 scenario. There's usually have 2 type I seen. So the first type, if you see a distinct numbers on one side of the cerebellum and the opposite side of the cortex, for example, my cerebellum is 5, but then my opposite side of the cortex is also the highest. You will see a distinct cause-core pattern here. So this tells us you would have a left brain imbalance here. Let me do it again. Usually you will have the highest score on the same side of the cerebellum. Let's say the right side is the highest score. And then you're going to look at the opposite side of the cortex. That side usually would also have a higher amount of tick or a higher amount of score here. So if you have it, you will have a distinct brain imbalance about left side or right side. So in this case, because the left side of the brain has a higher score, so this is a left brain imbalance. And then the second case is maybe the cortex has no tick at all, but you also have a really high score compared to the other side is higher than the opposite side. You also have a brain imbalance as well. Let me know which is your score so that we can give you some clarity. So Grace, 4 tick, 1 each. So Grace, let's just go for one by one. So for Grace, 4 tick, I would, for my understanding, so 1 for each part. So if you only have 1, probably I would say that's good. That's pretty good if you don't have any symptoms. But if you also have a lot of somatic symptoms, I would go back to do the check to make sure you do the assessment correctly. Because if we do the assessment incorrectly, everything after that is going to be not correct. So I will go through the assessment. Maybe I will video myself to look at the video, because feelings is the most inaccurate things. As most of us has been stuck for a long time, we don't really get connected or feel our body as much. And then let's see the next one, Dr. Lima. 2 on the left, 2, 3 on the right. So let's say I would assume it's on the cerebellum. So if both score is pretty close, I would say it's more a higher brain or lower brain imbalance, because both sides of the cerebellum is not working as well. So Claudia, same things as Grace as well. So I will redo the check and see, am I just feeling it wrong, or I can actually see that. And then for Eva, 1 on each. Equal number on each side. 3 on each one. Oh, okay. So I think that's one thing we have to clarify. Do you remember the turning? So if I asking, is it one test equal 1 point? No. Some test has more than 1 point. So when you go up and down, we do 1, we tuck our elbow 2, and then we do this. So that's 3 point. So some test has more significancy. So make sure you go back to the recording and redo the test again. And then let's go for the next one. Okay. Latiny. Latiny right side imbalance. So Latiny, can you type it in the chat or turn on your mic to let us know your score? Is it the cerebellum has more numbers on the right side or more on the cortex? Latiny, 2 right, none left. Okay. So then that's good for Latiny, because we only have the cerebellum that is being involved, so that it has a really high chance to get change, because the more severe, that take more time. So if the score is not extensive, then that means good things. There's an easier chance to change. Okay, here is what I think. I believe how about we pick one person to do the test all together, so that we know what is positive and what is fine. Anyone down to that? Anyone want to, can you maybe type it in the chat? I want to do the test together. Santan, am I saying your names correctly? Santan? Would you mind? Okay, would you mind doing the test for us all together? Are you down for that? Okay, sure. Okay, so first, can you put your camera just maybe a little bit vertical so that we can all see? Okay, so everyone just look at him. Okay, first, can you put... Yep, everyone look at him. Don't look, let me pin him. Let's remove me here. Okay, awesome. So put your left hand up like this. Okay, everyone look. Close and open. Close and open. Do it as quick as you can. Can you open as wide as you can? Yep, do this. Do it as quick as you can. Okay, is it the fastest you can get? Okay, so what we just see, at the beginning, he seems like he can do it no problem. But when I force him to open as big as you need to be, and then he will start having struggle. He would do this and then suddenly stop and then do it and then able to do it again. So this is a positive. Okay, can you repeat on the other side? Okay, do the same thing. Okay, open as big. Okay, and this one become more obvious. Okay, anyone see or just have the feelings, oh, the right hand seems a little bit slower? Santan, do you feel the right hand slower as well? Yeah, okay, cool. So for him, I would put one tick on the left hand. Let's go back to Senten. Give me 1 second here. At pin. So let's just use him here.
Just sorry to interrupt. If the right hand is slow, so we have to tick on left side, correct?
Yes, I'm going through right now. Okay, let's look at. So for Senten, the left hand feel slower, definitely slower. So I'm going to put one tick. But then the right hand is even slower. So I'm going to put two tick.
Okay.
And because, yes, and because this hand are controlled by the right cortex. So we have to flip this number here. So the right cortex will have 1 point. And then the left cortex here, they will have 2 points. This is a little bit more confusing, but go back and watch the recording to do it again. So make sure you flip the score on the cortex. Okay, let's go back to Senten again.
Sorry. But why
Okay.
two ticks on left hand? Why two
Okay.
ticks that side?
Okay, let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time.
Ready?
Okay, let's do the score one more time. So for Senten, left hand is slow, right? We can see left hand is struggling. So that we'll put one tick here. And then the right hand struggle more. So I'm going to put two tick because it's more severe. But it's not stopped there yet. Because we know the left hand are always controlled by the opposite side of the cortex. So the left hand are controlled by the opposite side of the brain. So that this score actually belongs, the number one, the one tick is belong to the right side. Same for the right hand. The right hand has two tick, but the right hand is controlled by the left brain. So we're going to flip it and put it on the left cortex here. Is that more clear now, everyone? Okay, let's go back to Senten here. And is he still here? Oh, yep.
Yeah.
So the second thing is, can you put both hands up and then go up and down for us? Yep. Do it as quick as you can. Do it as quick as you can. So here, there's no problem at all. Feel pretty equal to me. Can you tuck your elbow and do it again? Maybe you have to tilt the camera down a little bit for us. Yep. Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you see his left hand, the left hand, so both hand is slow, but then the left hand cannot stay in the same spot and feel a little bit like sloppy and cannot stay in the same spot. Can anyone see that? Or can Senten, can you do that one more time for us so that everyone can see? Yep, do it again. Okay, both hand is a little bit slow, but when you look at his left hand, it's a little bit slower and floppier. If you see that, type yes down below. And thank you, Senten. And then the next one, can you do the hand going up and down, like flipping up and down for us? Okay, for him, he just skipped like 1 to 2 times there. Can you try that again so that everyone can see that? Okay, he can do it right now, but you can feel his hand cannot stay in the same spot. So for example, let me explain. And where am I here? Okay, I am Give me 1 second. Pin. Okay. So when he do this, so he can do that, but then he cannot do it like really fine movement. So sometimes he would do this, sometimes he would do this, sometimes he would do this. So that's a sign something is not working that efficient in the cerebellum, so causing him not able to move as fine as possible. So that's a one take for the right side. So Santan, can you try the other hand? Yep. So everyone watch. Okay, this is become more obvious, right? On the right hand. The right hand, even though he can do it, but every time he do that would look like this. Every time he do this, he can do this, but he will use a lot of his elbow. He would do this. So that's a no. That means something. The brain are not able to coordinate. The cerebellum, they are not working fine. They have to use other part to compensate that he can do it. So that's a yes. So for him, let's go back to the score here. So right hand, definitely not good. So I would put 2 tick on the right side because his elbow used to move too much. So that's the right cerebellum. And then the left hand, a little bit floppy. So I would put 1 tick as it is less severe than the other side. And then for the cerebellum, that's really straightforward. You just put the same numbers of tick on the same side. Anyone tracking so far? So if you're tracking, because we know the cerebellum and the cortex always work opposite side. So it's like left brain, right side of the body. So you will see a distinct pattern that will have a left cerebellum, right brain pattern. So he will have this connection in these 2 parts of the brain. So this is a left brain imbalance for his case. That's pretty straightforward and clear. Anyone tracking so far? I know there's a lot of information. You know, for this information, even doctor have to train for 3 years after they graduate, but doctors still don't know how to use it. It's kind of complicated, but I'm trying to simplify as much for you guys so you can do it at home. So let me know if you have your results so that we can move forward.
I have a question.
Yes. Is it who is talking?
Yeah. Grace.
Okay, Grace. Okay.
So was that one like the other one where you if it's left hand, mine was left hand, then I put it in the right cerebellum?
If that's the finger, if that's on your
only on the
right
finger.
finger, yes, right finger, that's the left cortex. That's the opposite side.
This one was just the hand one though, so that's still, if it's left hand, then it goes on the left cerebellum, right?
If that's up and down, that's go to the same side, cerebellum.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, let's move forward. If you get confused or you're not tracking, that's fine. We will have recording. You can watch it how many times you want. I know there's a lot of information. So we are a little bit overwhelmed, but I want to give you at least one exercise so you can do it today. And you come back tomorrow and tell me if you notice anything's difference. And how do we activate our brain? And let me tell you a story. This is a real story. My old roommate, his name is Kevin. Kevin, he just moved out. First time he lived by himself, not with his family. And then one day I was hearing he make a lot of noise in the kitchen. And then in the kitchen. But it was really strange. I was like studying, but it's really strange because I don't smell anything that he cooking. But obviously he's cooking. He's like chopping, he's moving all the pan, but I don't feel any smell. I was so weird, so I go out and take a look. What is he doing? And I told him, "Hey Kevin, what are you doing?" And then he said, "Oh, I'm cooking." And then I would say cooking, and then I look at the pot. This is what it looks like in the pot. He put all the oil, all the meat, all the veggie, all the ingredient, everything at once in the pot. And then I was so confused. Oh, is it some kind of secret menu? You can make a really delicious meal. And then he said, "Oh no, this is my first time doing it. Isn't how everyone cook?" He asked me. And then I said, "No. If you want to cook a really delicious meal, there's a certain step you have to follow." So for him, how many of you would think that if you put everything at once like this in the pot, it is going to be delicious? How many of you think, is it a delicious? Is it yes or no? Let me know in the chat. Yes, it's no way. Because to cook a delicious meal, you have to, hey, I have to turn on the stove, preheat it maybe for at least 3 minutes. I put into the oil, wait another minute. And I put the pork in it, the meat in it, until it kind of like crispy a little bit. And then I put the veggie for another minute. And then I put the sauce, put the seasoning at the end. So my point is, to regulate your brain, it's just like cooking. There's a certain step you have to follow. If you do everything at once, most of the time it didn't end that well. There's nothing change. Some people the symptoms get worse. Or the best case is just nothing changed and then they give up. And why some people having impressive result, like I mentioned yesterday, maybe for Monica, for Keith, the 10 years old little boy, why someone have results and why others don't? And the reasons is really simple. They don't follow the step to rewire the brain. It is not what you do, but how you actually do it. Just like cooking. It's not what you cook, it's about what is the step and how you handle those ingredients. That's the important things. So key point is, and I heard a lot of people just come to me, "Hey, Dr. Pan, I just want some exercise. Just give me some exercises, super simple." This I'm going to give you is not exercise. Exercise is good. Like meditation, like cold punch is good. But as I repeat again and again and again, generic approach only give you generic result. It's not going to get you anywhere. But if you do specific things to target the part of your brain that is disconnected, that give you the most symptoms, you would be seeing results fast. It's just like Santan here. We just map out, hey, the right cerebellum, the left brain imbalance. So in his case, if we just find a way to exercise and reconnect more on this pathway, do you think he would get a faster result? Do you think this approach is more specific to him? Type yes if you think this is a better way to do generic things. When we're able to only fire those pathway that is not working, amazing things happen. Like imagine, like yesterday I told you guys, left brain imbalance. Usually people tend to have more like an ADHD-like presentation. Maybe the attention, the impulsivity, and some people have right brain imbalance. They tend to have more autistic spectrum. They tend to. So that's why a lot of kids or even adult, by just working on their right brain, their focus, their energy, the procrastination, the brain fog would become better. And then the question is, hey, how can I just target one side of the brain? That's the questions everyone keep asking. But I'm going to tell you, it's really, really simple. And before I do that, I want to show you this video here. This is what it looks like when you start reconnecting your brain cell. This is so when you work the brain cell literally start getting stimulation and going back up. They will connect together. They will find each other if you use it the way it wants to be used. And they connect together, and then they become a single neural pathway.
I still remember where I saw this video the first time. It has never left my mind. This is synaptogenesis.
And we're going to do it right now. So here's how we do it. So there's a lot of so if you check my website or check my brain clarity system before, there's a lot of exercise, even like 6 hours of video that you have to watch. There's a lot of things we cannot go through, but just today I'm going to give you one so you can do it tonight, and then you can come back to me tomorrow and let's check what's actually changed. So there's a lot of things we can do. And then the first method we're going to use is called the complex movement. Complex movement just means complex. Anything that looks complex, for example, like a circle movement, or my favorite is a figure of 8, because figure of 8 is a complex movement. But the key point is, it's really simple, but the key point is not you just did the complex movement. It's about how you do it and where you're going to do it. And then I want you to bring out your sheet, your chart out again. So if you're having a left brain imbalance, you're going to do everything on the opposite side of your brain, of your body. So let's use Sen as an example. We know that he has a left brain imbalance, the left brain being dysregulated. So we're going to do the exercise only on the right side, on the opposite side of his body. Anyone tracking so far? So if you having the opposite side, you're going to do everything on the right side of the body. So in short, I know this left right really confusing. So in short, I want you to do the following exercise on the highest score on your cerebellum. So let's say if your right cerebellum have 5 points, the left cerebellum have 3, you're going to do the exercise only on the right side. Do it on the highest score on the cerebellum. Do it on the highest score on the side. Anyone following? Santan, are you still here? Can we use you as an example? Okay. So the first one we're going to do is the complex movement. So complex movement, there's 4 levels. But right now we just do 1 first. And then, so here's what I want you to do. Do you remember the right hand? When you do this, the right hand seems a little bit weird, right? Really weird, right? So here's what I want you to do. The right hand, I want you to put both hands, just right hand up. And then you're going to draw a figure of 8, like an infinity symbol. Yep, really slow, even slower. Bigger and slower. Yep, do it bigger and slower. If everyone look at him, He seems like doing it, but he is not. He is like kind of like floating. So Santan, I want you to make sure your body don't move, and only move your elbow, move your shoulder. So lock your shoulder, and then draw a figure of 8. Yep. Do you feel like at a certain range when you're doing maybe when you go up, you feel like your arm seems a little bit weird?
Tired.
Tired, yeah? You don't have enough
Yeah.
strength, right?
That's right. You feel locked up here.
Yeah. So because that's the moment your cerebellum is struggling, prevent you to use your muscle.
Oh, no way.
So do this. When you do this, we force the cerebellum to work harder so that it can coordinate again. So do that one more time for me. Yep. Try to flip your hand up and down. Yep. Yep. Do it slower. I want you to especially slow down at the angle your hand feel tired. Yep, and then go down again. Yep, go down again. Yep, yep. And then stop. And then do the same things at the elbow. So you're going to lock your elbow and do the figure of 8 at the same time. Yep, and if everyone see him, also he cannot do it as well. But here is how we're going to change it. Yep. Can you do it a little bit higher? Yep. Okay, you can see when he only draw the figure of 8 below his elbow. But I want you to draw a little bit higher above the elbow. Yep, yep, yep. That's good. That's good. So everyone can follow it right now. But just do it on the same side as your cerebellum has a higher score. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, and then the next one is I want you to use your left hand and grabs your right hand. Yep, grabs your right fist, and then you're going to just kind of massage, not quite massage, just kind of making a gentle circle on your right wrist. Yep. What are we doing is, because the cerebellum love complex movement, when we do a lot of complex things on the same side of the cerebellum, it would force it to work harder, so that when the cerebellum's work, other brain's area is going to work better as well. Okay, and Santan, you can stop. And then, yeah, but stay here for us. And then the next things we're going to do is we have to check if they're actually doing anything. So Santan, can you do this test for us again? Yep, yep. Yep, do it as fast as you can. Okay, at the beginning, he didn't have any issue at all. So can you tuck your elbow and do the same thing? Yep, do the same thing. Okay. Do you feel both sides is more balanced right now?
Less wobbly. I wouldn't
Less
go
wobbly.
like that. You know how I was going like
Okay.
this, right?
Mhm.
Now I can at least go watch this. You'll see a little bit more.
Okay, then that's perfect. That means something has to change in order for you to do this. Okay, and then can you do the right hand? Do this for us again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so this one does not change as much. You can still see his elbow still like going like this. And then can you repeat on? Can you try out the other side and then try? Yep. Okay. Do you feel any like kind of improvement on either of this one?
Yeah. I will not be like half skipping it like this. Watch it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
There'll be more full, complete finishing.
Okay, so more finishing, then that's perfect. Yeah. So even though that improvement is really tiny, but the improvement is instant because when you do this, it's instantly kickstart and force your cerebellum to work harder. So this is a huge win for him, but it didn't stop there. So Santan, thank you. And then
Thank you.
yeah, and let's talk about, hey, how long does it take? How many times do I need to do? And what should I do if it don't works? For every exercise you do, make sure we're going to redo the test to see if actually changing something. If not changing anything, probably that's not the right things you should be doing, or maybe you just need another approach to do it. For today, I just want you to do this exercise, and when you do it, there's 4 levels. So 1, for example, for Santan, we do it on his right hand. So after he do right hand, the next level he can do right foot. And then the next level he can do right hand and right foot all together. And then the next level is a little bit more complex. This usually to advance from level 1 to 2 to 3, that usually takes at least a few days or maybe couple of weeks. But for Santan, just like him, if you're still listening, I want you to do the right hand figure of 8, the right hand, and then the right foot. So you're going to be laying down, doing the right foot, and draw a figure of 8 together. And come back tomorrow, and then we're going to do the test again. Or maybe Santan, if you are having different kind of symptoms, maybe Santan, can you tell me what kind of symptoms is bothering you? Do you have like what made you come to this masterclass? Is there any specific things you want to be addressed? Type it in the chat and let us know.
Yeah, no. I can speak faster than I can type.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, no. I guess maybe from whatever. I have a scar. I have definitely hit my head before here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I have snowboarding accidents at the back. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I know on my left side, since I was young, I always have pain around the back side here in the brain. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then even the back here on the back of the head here. So definitely the left side is a little bit weird, right? And
Okay.
I can never remember things short-term memory. It's really bad.
Okay. Then there's something
Super
can
bad.
be okay. Is it why you're wearing the yellow glasses as well?
No, yellow glasses is because of blue light, and it's very foggy here at night. It's very dark. So when I go out or when I like this, when usually I will be like this at home, right?
Oh, okay, awesome.
And red light will be at night. It's red light, right?
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do for us. So today I want you to keep doing the figure of 8.
Yeah.
And do it with the feet as well. Maybe you want to try both sides. And then tomorrow come back, we're going to redo the test. And maybe if you feel maybe you feel, your mind feels less foggy, or maybe you feel something happening, maybe you feel more clarity, you can come back tomorrow to tell us. But yeah, usually it takes longer. Most of the time, some people, if they are having, usually it takes few weeks for them to actually feel some shift, because we are stuck for so many time. It takes a lot of time to be self-aware again. But some people, I have some client, hey, I just do the figure of 8, and the next day his balance get better, he feel less, every time he pass through the door he'll hit it, but then he's not hitting it anymore. But anyway, different people have a different result. So come back tomorrow and just let us know what happened.
Sure. How many times should I do the exercise?
Okay, and here is what we're going to go through right now. Thank you. I'm gonna continue. Yeah.
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
This is Dr. Nilima.
Yep.
Actually, I work with neurocare. So most of my kids are autistic, ADHD, and CP. And 90% of the kids are left-handed. So the exercises you have suggested or all these types, Does it work same for left-handed and right-handed? Normally we are right-hand now. Our right hand is dominating, but these kids left hand is dominating. So
Okay.
does this work same?
Okay, so let me go over a little bit tangents a little bit right now. So for there's a really interesting study. So people think that they do a study for people of left-handed, right-handed. They scan their brain, and then they still find out that their brain structure or maybe our language. So we thought maybe, for example, for language on the textbook, most of the people is on the left side, and then they question, oh, is it different to the left-handed people? And then they do the scan, they found that it didn't is not the case. 90% of the time, it still follows the rules and the neurology. So just for you, Dr. Lanima, for children, there's can be more testing can be do, but here is what I would suggest. Only follow the physical exam. Don't go by the symptoms. Just go by the physical exam. If you feel like, oh, if they really discoordinated on maybe the left side, that means the left cerebellum must be not working. So you're going to do the exercise on the same side of the body to challenge the cerebellum to activate the brain again. Yeah. Tomorrow we'll go over a little bit, few more, and then I encourage you to come back as well.
Yes, sure. Yes.
Okay, so let me go over really quick the rest of the material for today is how many times do I actually need to do? So this is a really important question. Remember, we are not the key point is not what you do. It's about how you do it. Just like cooking and workout. If you have been worked out, let's say you're going to train your bicep. You can only lift maybe 8 times and you get super tired. And then if you keep doing it, you would hurt your arm. And it is the same thing in your brain. I'm sorry? Santan, are you talking, are you telling us something?
Oh, sorry. I thought my mic is off. Sorry, bro.
Oh, okay. Let me mute you then. Okay, so the workout, the brain just like workout. But the brain, when you work out the brain, there's something different, which your brain don't feel tired as easy. So most people would keep doing and doing and then don't realize it's hurting them. When you exert your brain too much, you can actually hurt it. So there's some simple rule you should follow. And just for today, for the figure of 8, probably people do 10 turn, like this is 1, 2, don't do more than 10. 5 to 10 would be the sweet spot. And make sure you do it correctly. So if you're just kind of like doing really fast and not holding your body and finger your arm, it don't work. Make sure you do it really, really slow to kickstart your brain. It's how you do it. It's not what you do. It's how you actually do it. And then same things for the finger, for the leg. Also, max do 10 reps. And repeat 3 times. But in between set, make sure you take at least 2 to 3 minutes. Because when you use, it takes some time for the energy, for the ATP, for the brain cell to do its magic. If you keep doing it, you don't give them time to reconnect. So make sure you take time to rest in between to allow them to reconnect. So here is the... so this is it. Let's call it for the day. Is anyone having any questions so far? So for tomorrow, we're going to go over about, hey, what will be the sign? How do I know it's working? And the remaining of the therapeutic exercise as well. And we are also going to recap about the scoring to make it more clear. Recording, yes. It's streaming on Facebook right now, but I don't suggest going back to the Facebook because of the streaming, some of the clips are not being, someone sharing, there's not on there. But either way, it's on Facebook or we're gonna send out in the email as well. So make sure you check the inbox as well. And one more tips, in case you're still here. I want you to notice, is there any change? Because the key things to know if this is working or not by yourself, you have to track your symptoms. Grab a piece of paper right now or after the call, write down what kind of symptoms you might have. Maybe, oh, I have dizzy, I feel floating. How many times in a day, or give them a score. For example, every day I feel floating 6 hours of the time, and I will write down 6 hours. Or every time I feel floating, I will give it a score, maybe 7 out of 10. And then once you do this exercise, therapeutic exercise, every week you're going to fill in these questions again. Oh, maybe next week you do this exercise. Oh, my floating only flow for 4 hours. So last week we were floating for 6 hours, but this week is 4 hours. So then that's a good change for heal. As I told you guys yesterday, Rome didn't build at one day. So make sure you take small change at a time. Otherwise, people get burned out or they give up. So do this right now, and then we're also going through tomorrow as well. But if you want to experience the magic tonight, make sure you do it. Do the figure of 8 so that we can see some change tomorrow.